Hello America, Patrick Bush 2020 again, coming back. So in the last video, this is video 9. In video 8 I was talking about the homeless in Freedom City, and one thing I want to touch on is millennials. I heard something really sad on the radio the other day. That out of, like, I don't know, 10,000 millennials that they surveyed, right? Most of them, almost all, like 95% of them surveyed, say they don't want to own anything. They don't want to own a car. They don't want to own a house. They don't want to have their name or lease, title, mortgage. They don't want to own anything. They want to lease and rent for their entire life. That's pretty bad. Okay, what that means is that not only is that horrible for the economy, but just that's sad that our future generation doesn't want to own anything, and it's because of what happened in the past. Everybody, they see, well, look what they see. They see people losing their houses left and right, foreclosures everywhere, the economy being horrible, people losing their jobs. So it's like, anyway, well, they say that, and another part of that survey was that millennials don't do a lot to help society. Meaning they don't do a lot. They've noticed a huge change in the generations before them to the millennials, and they don't do a lot to help their community. Public volunteering, public action. They don't do a lot to help people anymore. And it's like, well, yeah. I mean, when you have more money in your pocket and you're doing well for yourself, you spread it out a little bit, don't you? You share the wealth a little bit. Maybe you're happier within your own family life, so you're actually willing to help your neighbors out. I can say that myself. When I was in Illinois, when we were in Chicago, I mean, there were personal reasons with my own family. A lot of my family died, and I was driving around seeing these places that I used to go with my uncle and my grandpa and my parents, and they're all dead and gone, and it just made me sad every day. So that and the weather. I hate the winters, but I loved Chicago and Illinois, but man, it's so nice to be here in Southern California. So people here complain when it's 50 degrees out, and it's freezing out. I'm like, in January. And they're like, oh my God, is it cold? Everybody in Chicago can appreciate me talking like this, because they're like, 50 in January and no snow on the ground? I'm like, where do I sign up, right? I mean, yeah, I know. So people, I laugh at the people here. It's like, they think it's crazy cold at 50 in January. So anyway, but it just, this is, my point is with the millennials, this is your chance to do something. This is your chance to help your community, to help your country, and part of the way, yeah, to help the world. Because once we start taking care of our own people, and we start getting this country back on track, right, we're going to be able to help everybody else in the world too. But I see a lot of people don't want the United States to turn into isolationists. We can't shut the rest of the world out. I'm like, who says we have to? But who says we can't help our own people at the same time? There's nothing wrong with looking toward taking care of your own, and looking towards your own a little bit more, and focusing on, because that's our own country, our own people. It's like, well, maybe we should start doing that a little bit more and still be talking to other countries and nations and having dealings with them, but at the same time, not talking about turning us into isolationists, but you have any idea how bad it is for our own people out there? Wouldn't you all like, more money in your pocket and a free home and that little bit of a leg up in life where you don't have $1,000 bill every month or more? Wouldn't that be great? And then before you know it, 2-3 years go by, and guess what happens? You have a free home in Freedom City, and you realize, hey, I could take my family to Germany this year. I could buy a BMW. And you start spending more money, and the economy's better, and this and that. And a lot of people are wondering how this 62-year-old woman I was talking to in security, I mentioned her in the video past, she was saying, how are you going to pay for it? How are you going to pay for it? How are you going to pay for Freedom City? I'm like, I pulled $10 out of my pocket, and I said, that's all I need right now. She goes, what do you mean? I said, I can go buy a shovel, and then I'll buy the land, and I'll start digging ditches. And then I'll start, putting electric in. It's got to start somewhere. Do you think that when they started New York City, they had $10 billion to start it with? You think when they started LA or Chicago or Seattle or Atlanta, do you think that they started with $1 trillion in their pocket? Or back then, even, 10 million? Which is a lot of money back then. I don't even think there was that much money in existence back then. But you think they had a whole truckload of gold, or a whole boatload of gold they brought over from England off the ships and started a city? No, they all worked together and started from scratch, and built something magnificent. Look at Chicago. Look at these cities that we built. They're amazing. We can do that again, but we haven't. For how long? Why not? This is America. I mean, who started telling people that they can't do things in this country? To do things that massive? Really? I'm sorry, but I believe in America. I believe in this country. I love my country. And I love everybody in this country. And all of us together, yeah, we can do pretty amazing things here. And that's one thing we should be doing again. You know, and a lot of people say, well, why don't you just buy people free homes in existing cities already? Well, that's not going to work. Because let's be honest, you buy someone a free house and you put it in their name, what are they going to do? They're going to mortgage it, either sell it, get the money, piss it away. They're going to mortgage it, borrow against it, lose it, get a lien on it, you know, gamble the money away, and then they take a lien on it, or a credit card debt, and then they take a lien on their house. Just, you know, a lot of people are saying, well, yeah, but that's their freedom, that's their right. I'm like, okay, well, if you don't like the idea of Freedom City, don't move there. Stay where you're at. And there's going to be a lot of people who don't want to move to Freedom City. I don't know if that's occurred to a lot of people out there, but there's going to be people in New Hampshire who have a great job, and they have 75 family members there. They're not going to leave, even for the promise of a free home. They're going to stay right where they are, you know? And one guy asked me the other day, he says, well, can we leave Freedom City? I'm like, yeah. So, you know, I don't care if you leave. It's like if you get a great job in New York City or something, you want to leave. Go right ahead. Who's stopping you? But I would just ask, if you're going to leave and you want to keep the free home, provided you have family members within your family, have one of them stay there. I don't care who, if it's your father, your uncle, your brother, your cousin, your nephew, give it to him. Let him stay there. The main thing is this home stays within your family line. So it stays within your family. Nobody else's. Yours. This home is yours and within your family forever. And another guy asked me the other day, he says, what if I get rich? What do you mean? He says, well, what if I get this free home and I'm poor, but then I get this free home and then I win the Mega Millions or the Powerball? I'm like, okay, what's your point? He goes, well, do I lose my free home? I'm like, no. You're going to lose your free home because you get rich after, or you get a great idea, or write a movie script, and before you know it, you have $10 million in the bank. No, good for you. America works. Good for you. No, you're not going to lose your free home, and we're not going to take it away from you, or try to. No. You know, it's just, and another guy asked me, I've had a couple people ask me this, I might have mentioned this in one of my previous videos, but he says, what if I get arrested? I said, well, you're not going to be in Freedom City. You're going to be in jail. He says, like, for robbing a bank or something. I said, do you want to rob a bank? He goes, no, but what if I do something stupid one day? I'm like, well, you're going to be in jail, so where are you going with this? And he goes, well, what about my wife and kids? What about them? He says, well, are you going to kick them out? Are you going to throw them out on the street? I'm like, no, why would we? As long as they're paying the property taxes, I don't care. They can stay forever. And he's like, oh, okay, that's great. I'm like, I don't understand why he would think that we would throw them out on the street, because he did something wrong. That doesn't make any sense to me. But anyway, so millennials, this is your chance to do something, you know, to actually help society. So that's Freedom City. I'll talk more about it as we go along. You know, if people have any questions, post a comment on YouTube. Ask me anything you like, you know, or comment on my videos. You know, go right ahead. A lot of people, not a lot of people, some people would ask me, well, how are you qualified? Because Donald Trump, let's say he's running right now, or Hillary Clinton, they know who they are. You know, people, they're out in public, people have known them for years, right? Of course, Hillary Clinton, yeah. But anyway, people know who Donald Trump is, let's say, right? In my opinion, I'm not a Donald Trump supporter, but he's going to win. I mean, let's just be honest, you know, because he's tapped into that huge mass of want and need for change. And a lot of people who are voting for him don't even know why they're voting for him. They just, you know, it's almost like moths to a flame, you know. They just, ooh, and they just go that way, and they see something that they want, and even if they're not thinking about it. Not saying that he's going to be the wrong choice. I'm not a Donald Trump supporter, but I'm just saying that he's tapped into that, and people are just flocking to him, you know, which is great, you know. But me personally, I don't know if he's going to do any good or not, but I know I will. So, but I'll talk more about Freedom City as things go on. But in my next video, which is video 10, I finally get to my 10th video, I'm going to talk a little bit more about myself and who I am, because people don't know me, and I get my face and name out there, but I should talk a little bit more about what I've done in life, how I've helped people, what's happened to me, how I've survived, what good I have done. And yeah, I think that a lot of people will kind of want to know that. So I think, and I'll reiterate as I go along, but I think the next video I'm going to dedicate to me and who I am, because I think people really want to know. So until then,